If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and the best is blessed, baby.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. Keep it clean. Touch gloves if you wish. Let's do it.
Straight Talk MMA, hosted by Zay Bones, the MMA Brothers.
Just considering what happened last night.
Yo, what's up? I had like a little delay on my feed or whatever, but overall, I thought the card was good last night. A lot of things went how I expected, basically.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to Straight Talk MMA. This is the review show of UFC 304, which was very entertaining. Do you think the card lived up to expectation?
Maybe not for some people, but for me, it did because, like I said, a lot of things went how I expected as far as the upper echelon of the card, the main card for the most part. So I was pretty satisfied with it.
Yeah, I was satisfied overall. 14 fight card.
I'm glad we had a definitive, finish to both title fights.
So without any further ado, let's get into it. Dana upped the bonuses. He gave everybody 100K as opposed to 50K. Everybody who got bonuses, he was pretty upset at the press conference. Said he'll never do that again because he don't feel like it made him fight harder. I feel like he had a stick up his ass about something else though, but we'll get right into it. It started off in the women's strawweight division. Ardeline versus Shauna Bannon. This was a very entertaining fight. Shauna Bannon came out extremely aggressive. She threw a lot of side kicks, trying to keep her distance. First round was closely contested. Ardeline showed that she definitely got heart and she definitely got a chin. It was back and forth on the striking. I would say that Mama B was getting the best of her. Ardeline got a takedown. Didn't really do much with it. Almost got subbed in the armbar. Second round, I felt like Shauna Bannon came out even more aggressive. And she dominated the second round until about a minute left. Got taken down again. Ardeline didn't do anything with the takedowns. Not much ground and pound. Mostly control. And then in the third round, you could tell Ardeline was tired, being that she did take the fight on 1 week notice, and she did drop down the weight class as well too. But overall, it was entertaining. I think the right person won. Shauna Bannon, I will say this: her strikes are kind of predictable, I feel like she got the same entry over and over, like that side kick, then the 1-2. I would like to see her step off to the side before she throw that sometimes, or just mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, Ardeline, she almost got subbed in the first, I believe, with the armbar. In the second round, she was able to get a takedown. She didn't do much with it, which was kind of the theme of the fight. When she did get her to the ground, which I figured where she wanted to fight, she didn't do much with it. Sean Bannon was able to piece her up on the feet, I would say, and yeah, DC did call it out, saying that she's a little too predictable with her entry. So that's something that she definitely got to work on.
Trevor said, "Why doesn't anyone call out Dana for the way he talks shit about his fighters, especially in this PC cancel culture?"
I think part of the reason is because it's not like the UFC is owned by a lot of people. He's basically the figurehead, and I think a lot of fighters do. I feel like Dana take care of them behind the scenes.
Yeah, like I feel like everyone complains except for the fighters. But I feel like as far as journalists and whatnot, the UFC kind of got it on lock, where it's like they pushing most of the real journalists out, the ones who ask the tough questions.
Ariel Hawani.
Ariel Hawani, Luke Thomas, Brian Campbell. I feel like they take their credentials, and so it's almost like and they're starting to be replaced by more so influencer type people who not really journalists, like the Milf Boys,
Yeah,
Nina Drama, people like that. And so when those type of people get in, they just want clicks and notoriety. So they're not gonna ask the real questions. They're gonna ask the questions almost like an ask kissing contest. Dean said he beat me in UFC 5 with Leon Edwards with a Darce choke. Believe it if you want to. Next up, heavyweight division. We had Mick Parkin versus Lucas the Bull Bresky. I'm gonna let you take that one away.
Mick Parkin, his last fight, I was unimpressed because it was a 3-round snooze fest against Muhammad Usman. In this fight in his hometown, he came out guns blazing and put out Bresky pretty quick, and it was pretty nasty. He was favored, rightfully so. I believe he keeps his undefeated streak. I think he's like 9-0 or something like that now. So I'm interested to see how far he can go up the heavyweight division because it's not that deep.
Yeah, I was really impressed with his composure in this fight. Bresky came out throwing bombs, and he was connecting with that overhand right. Mick Parkin stayed composed and just settled into the fight and started picking him apart. After he got caught with that overhand right like twice, he eventually was able to see it coming and kind of shut that weapon down. He started connecting with jabs, walking him down a little bit, caught him with a nice combo, body, head, and rocked him. And then once he rocked him, he went in for the kill. Hooks, uppercut set him down. And he just went and finished him against the fence. He did get a performance bonus. His first finish in the UFC. Now 4-0 in the UFC. So shout out to him. He's in the camp with
Tommy Espinal.
Tom Espinal, and there's a reoccurring theme, like how we always say, I don't know, I guess I'll get to it later.
All right.
Next up, we had a welterweight bout with Sam Patterson versus Kiefer Crosby.
Hey.
Go ahead.
I was pretty happy with this fight. Sam Patterson, his UFC debut, he got starched. And I believe that was at lightweight. So I feel like welterweight is definitely his division. He's so tall and lanky. His one biggest flaw is to keep his head up, and he don't got that good of a head movement. His last fight, he came and he got a submission win in the first round. This fight, he got another submission win in the first round. And it was an arm triangle, I believe, and I just feel like he's kind of entering his is his, you know, his flow state a little bit as far as UFC career. I'm interested to see what he's gonna do too. I feel like he was pretty impressive, and I feel
Yeah,
like he can probably eventually get a ranking by his name. I don't know how far he can go, but like I see, because he keep that chin straight up, so he's susceptible to get KO'd. But I feel like he can eventually get a ranking by his name, like 15, 14, 13, something like that.
you definitely did see improvement. And I like to see growth in fighters from performance to performance. That's really interesting to me. He didn't keep his chin as high as he normally does. He had it tucked a little more, and he even addressed it after the fight, saying that he watched his last fight and he heard DC talking about how he keep his chin in the air, so he worked on that. Kiefer Crosby did seem to have they seem to be pretty even in the boxing, but I feel like Sam Patterson did a better job at using his length on his feet. I was saying yesterday how he don't really use his length on the feet, but on the ground you can tell that like he's long because of the way he tie people up. Um, he was able to get it to the ground. He did rock him with a nice couple of hooks. Got it to the ground, and he did get the arm triangle in. At first, I thought the cage was going to be in his way, and I felt like he was trying to do the arm triangle from like half guard, but then
Yeah,
he slipped over to the side, and then he was choking for a while. I didn't think he was going to get it, and I was like, "Oh,
no,
man, if you miss this sub, then that might ruin the fight because I didn't know if he was going to burn his arms out or what." And then he got back into half mount, readjusted, and then got back over to the side again and got the tap. So that was impressive. Happy for him. And now that was 2 finishes in a row. So we were at 3 fights and 2 finishes, both in the first round. Then we had a lightweight matchup, which I thought was at this point I was looking at this as fight of the night. It was
definitely.
pretty damn entertaining. We had Modestas Bukauskas versus Marcin Prachnio. Prachnio is a karate guy, over 450 karate combat fights. Modestas Bukauskas is just a MMA fighter, I would say. He's well-rounded. They came out, and Prachnio immediately started attacking the legs. You saw a big size difference, too. Bukauskas being the bigger fighter. Prachnio was using a lot of leg kicks, spinning kicks, side kicks. I thought the leg kicks was going to be a big difference in the fight if he kept them going. I know a lot of times people use that when they had a reach disadvantage to kind of like close the distance. So Prachnio was way more active, but Bukauskas was more effective in the first round, I would say. He caught Prachnio with a couple of clean shots to the dome that really had him wobbled, and then you saw the look on his face change. Thought he was going to go in panic mode. Prachnio started to gas. I feel like he used too many big movements, like the spin kicks and the kicking combinations where he wasn't really throwing any hands. I like how Prachnio came out in the second round because you could tell he knew he lost the first. He came out way more aggressive. He was having a really good round in the second round. I would say he won the second round. At one point, he got cracked real hard in the second round, and he almost fell. Bukauskas saw him wobble. He came in for the kill, and he had him up against the cage, throwing elbows, body shots, hooks, uppercuts. He was just unleashing his whole arsenal. And then in close range, Prachnio caught him with a question mark kick, and Bukauskas wobbled. And then I thought, oh shit, Prachnio might finish this fight after he almost got finished. So really good, entertaining second round. And then in the third round, they came, stood in the middle, started banging it out. It was definitely two-way traffic through the whole fight. Bukauskas ended up getting the takedown early in the second round, and he got the finish.
Yeah, this was definitely the fight of the night so far, up until this point. Bukowskis, he was catching Prachnio with some nice clean shots, but Prachnio will fire back real quick. Bukowskis won the first round. Then in the second round, Pragnio, he came out rushing. And he immediately took the center of the octagon and just started throwing shots and caught Bukowskis with some good, clean shots. The sequence where Bukowskis had him up against the cage and caught him with some mean combos. And it looked like Pragnio was about to go out, and they're probably like 2 feet apart, not even that, probably like a foot apart. And Pragnio was able to just hit that question mark kick. That was pretty impressive. With no setup, no space, no
It
nothing.
was so fast too.
Yeah, it was. And you can tell he's a karate guy because he threw that kick so effortlessly. And rocked Bukowskis, and he had to reset. And then the third round, Pragnio came out rushing again, bro. That leg kick when they were 2 feet apart was yeah, it was. But in the beginning of the third round, he came out rushing in again, and he was catching Bukowskis with a few good shots. But you can tell he was a little tired. Bukowskis was able to get him down, and he finished the half guard. He finished from the half guard with the arm triangle, which is pretty impressive. You don't see that too often. Whereas in the previous fight, you seen Sam Patterson use the technique more cleanly and was able to get it. But I love the arm triangle. It's one of my top 3 favorite submissions to see. So shout out to Bukowskis. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the arm triangle, and I used to like the darts, but I'm not too fond of the darts no more. So yeah, now we have 3 finishes in a row. Every fight up to this point was pretty entertaining. I thought the Mick Parkin fight was going to be a little less action packed, but it was actually pretty fun. Then we come to the last fight on the early prelims. We had Oban Elliott, the Welsh gangster, versus Preston Parsons. This fight did ruin a parlay for. This fight actually ruined 3 parlays for me. Because I put Preston Parsons on all 3. I definitely thought that he was going to win this fight. I was wrong. He came out, applied pressure, and went for the takedowns, which was in my head his path to victory, a submission I was looking for. But Oban Elliott, man, with the mean sprawl game, he was looking like Renat Fakhretdinov in there. Like mean sprawl game. So that was pretty impressive. He kept it on the feet. Preston Parsons, I feel like as the fight went on and he could not get takedowns and he tried really hard, I feel like it kind of demoralized him a little bit. Oban Elliott kept it on the feet, used his range really well, definitely established the center of the octagon, and he just pretty much kept it at his range and was not being taken down, using a lot of long-range weapons like the jab and the straight, a few body kicks like the teep, push kicks. He just pretty much schooled him, man. He looked pretty good. He wasn't catching him with a lot of power. Like at no point was the fight close to being finished, but it was still an impressive performance because he implemented his game plan and he showed that he took Preston Parkin's strength and nullified it and pretty much just cruised to a victory.
Yeah, the Welsh gangster, man. The Welsh Chelsea Sonnen kind of on the microphone anyway.
Yeah.
I was pretty impressed by this because Preston Parsons, he basically was being shut down at every turn, kind of, in my opinion. When he was going for the takedown, the Elliott, his sprawl game was pretty nasty. He was catching them with better shots. He didn't thrash him or dominate him, but it was a clear victory for me.
Hey, open that up. Let me see the how many takedown attempts he had. Because I don't even think he got one. And if he did get one, Oban got right back up.
Yeah, 109.
Wow. So he stuffed 8 takedowns. Yeah, 1 of 9 in his control time was probably about like 30 seconds. So that was really impressive.
Yeah. I would like to see Oba and Elliott go far in the division. I don't know how far he can go, but I just like his charisma.
Look like they stripped the color off your boy.
Yeah.
uh, this was a flyweight bout. This was these guys' third time fighting this week. They fought at the Performance Institute. They fought at the Fighter Hotel. They had a bunch of security in the octagon before the fight, trying to prevent them from getting at each other. I feel like the security was going kind of overboard with Manel Kape. He was chilling. They wouldn't get out his face.
Yeah.
Then the fight starts and nobody fights for the whole first round. Muhammad Makayev threw a bunch of kicks.
Hey, bro.
Didn't really land it. Yeah.
This is the reason why Dana had to stick up his ass.
Yeah, it's one of them. It's one of the main reasons. One of the main reasons. They asked him what he thought about this fight. He said that fight played out exactly how I expected it to. He said, we have these situations where these guys can't wait to fight each other. They get into all these altercations, and then when the fight actually start and they getting paid to fight each other, nobody want to fight. I think Manel Kape didn't want to get taken down, so he was kind of gun shy. And then I think also too, Dana's mad because Makayev won. This was the last fight on his contract. He said they will not be re-signing him. This is a 12-0 undefeated guy, who would have been next in line for the championship if you ask me. We was looking at this bout like whoever wins will probably fight for the belt next. I feel like it was best for business if Makayev won, just because Manel Kape, he misses weight a lot, pulls out of fights a lot, and even though by meritocracy he should be next for the belt or for the championship fight, I feel like you don't even know if he'll make championship weight, number one. Number two, if he'll even make it to the fight. And then number three, if he wins your belt, he's not dependable. Extremely talented though. But and I'm not sure if it was the first or the second round, but Manel Kape threw a kick, and when he threw the kick, he broke his toe, dislocated it. And
that was the second round.
Okay, and he stopped and was trying to readjust it and like pop it back in, and then Makayev rushed him. Nothing came of it. Manel Kape is just way too fast. If he would have let his hands go, every time he let his hands go, he was connecting, but Makayev couldn't really secure any takedowns. He had a really good sprawl game. He's just so explosive. But Makayev did get a takedown at one point and grabbed his pants and was literally looking like he was going to pull him off. And the referee stopped the fight, gave him a really hard warning, and took the position away from him. That was the only takedown he got. And yeah, the fight just pretty much cruised by. It was pretty uneventful.
Bro, I think this is why they moved it from the main card to the prelims, because Dana said he had a feeling this was gonna happen. Also, I have a question. Why even make this fight if you got Muhammad Makayev, who you know before this fight you're not gonna re-sign, and then you got Manel Kape, who's not reliable at all. You feel me? And you're making like a number one contenders fight between two people who is unreliable, basically, because one not gonna be in your company and the other one is unreliable as far as making weight. You feel me?
I mean, to be fair, they never said it was a number one contender fight. That's what the people were saying. I guess he just needed a throwaway fight. Like, I'm gonna give this guy his fight so we can get him off contract, and I'm gonna give him this guy who may not show up. You get what I'm saying? Dean says Kape didn't do enough. Bro, what was he doing? Was working, but if he did more, it might have worked. Yeah. Oh, what he was doing was working, but if he did more,
yeah, I feel like Kape was losing focus a little bit. Even with the short grab, when he was grabbing his shorts, he kind of completely stopped and was complaining to it. Which I feel like they kind of got the ref attention and called his attention to it. Do you think a point should have been taken away from that or no?
A point definitely should have been taken from that. And you can go back to the first round. A point should have been taken from Shauna Bannon because she grabbed the fence like 6 times. And the ref kept saying, stop grabbing the fence, don't grab the fence. But he never he never took a point.
I feel like
That
that
was
was
also a
one.
theme throughout the night.
Yeah, bro. I just want to say that was the theme throughout the night. Referees giving hard, stern warnings, but not actually taking a point away. We got to get to a point in MMA where fighters are scared to get their point taken away. You feel me? Because if I know you're just going to warn me, I might do something egregious, or if I know something give me an advantage, you know what I'm saying? I'll take that
Yeah.
warning. You know.
And I feel like you get the warning in the back when they go over the rules. That's
Yeah,
your first
exactly.
warning right there. Then you say he
Yep.
just had to let his hands go and he didn't. I agree with you 100%. I was disappointed in this fight because this is one of the fights I was looking forward to the most, and it did not deliver.
Yeah. So we'll see what Manel Cop goes from here, and Muhammad Makayev, we'll see him in the PFL.
Next up, oh, you know what? I was wrong. This is the fight that ruined my ticket. We
Yeah,
had
Jake Kelly.
Jake Hadley versus Colin Loughran. And Jake Hadley took this fight on 1 week notice. He came in and he was just a cleaner striker, man. He bloodied up Colin Loughran's eye with like probably the first or second strike that he threw. His hands were just way crisper. He was faster. Loughran could not get the takedown to save his life. He probably only attempted like 4. He couldn't even really close the distance. And this was just Jake Hadley cruising through a fight and getting the victory. He pretty much was never threatened. You can tell that his confidence grew as the fight went on. And it was pretty one-sided. I wouldn't really call it a beating because it wasn't enough offense to call it that. Hadley just stayed at range. A lot of times he fought with his back. Yeah, Hadley did have the more technical crisp boxing. A lot of times he stayed with his back kind of against the cage and was just waiting for Loughran to come in, and he would stick and move. So
Yeah, I feel like Hadley. He just had like more fire, more fuel in his ass. Basically, Loughran, he just kind of felt like he was walking in mud a little bit. You know, he just couldn't really let his hands go. He just tell he just wasn't uh, feeling it as much. You know, Hadley, he was more comfortable in there, letting his hands go, just more of a flow state. I was pretty impressed. I didn't pick him to win. I don't think neither one of us picked him to win.
no,
I'm
we
a fan.
didn't.
I'm a fan of him. No, he needed this because he was on the 2-fight losing streak, and he only took this fight on a week's notice or 2 weeks notice, which was the main reason I picked against him.
I was gonna ask you, how much of this fight do you think was Jake Hadley being desperate versus Colin Loughran? Like, how much do you think the opponent change affected him? Because he said that he knew 5 weeks out that his opponent was gonna pull out, and he said he sent them like 6 text messages saying like, "I know you pulling out of the fight," and he was like, "Nah, I ain't pulling out of shit," and then he pulled out.
Yeah, he said he seen him on social media drinking too, and that's
Yeah.
when he really knew. But yeah, maybe that did have a lot to do with it. Hadley, he just seemed more desperate. You know what I'm saying? So I think they did have a lot to do with it because in the UFC, you don't want to lose 3 straight fights.
Nope. Anything else you want to add on this one?
Nah.
Dean said, I feel that's what Zay did to me the other night. UFC 5 was just a little more technical striking, but I still submitted him. Hey, that's how you know. That's how you know that I'm unsubmittable. Because that's an accomplishment.
Man.
Next up, this is a very entertaining fight. After 2 not so entertaining fights, I feel like the Jake Hadley fight was kind of boring. It only took 220 fights. The Jake Hadley fight was kind of boring. This fight right here was pretty exciting. I I said yesterday that I felt like Bruno Brazil was gonna win. This is what I was saying when we were doing the show about sometimes when the gym gets on a roll, it's like the fighters just like it gets contagious. You get what I'm saying? Success is
Oh
contagious.
yeah, most definitely.
And we had Tom Aspinall. He had two teammates on the card. That whole gym won their fights, and then the Fighting Nerds, they just been on a. I don't think they lost the fight this year, any of their fighters. So, except for maybe Bruno Brazil, she lost her debut, but I had a feeling she was gonna come into enemy territory and show out on Molly McCann. It was a pretty fun fight. It was some back and forth. Molly had her moments. She did take a knee to the vagina in the first round, but you very rarely see low blow in female fights. And she ate some nasty, nasty body knees. She would enter while they were both in the open stance. They both were standing unorthodox, so that left side open, the right side open, I should say. And she kept eating those left body kicks. And she ate a knee on the entry one time that kind of like folded her up, and I thought the fight was over right there. Yeah, these body shots definitely almost ended Molly. And then she was able to fight through it, get back up, and she stayed aggressive. Then she got caught with a mean left kick to the body, and I thought that was for sure over. Wouldn't be surprised if she got a broken rib. I felt like from the jump when she came out, she was chasing. She was chasing too much. I thought she was gonna get knocked out. She wasn't really trying to cut off Bruno Brazil. She was just chasing her, throwing wild strikes. She did have her moments, but overall, I think Bruno Brazil just kind of took her to school. Second round, Molly came out more aggressive, got a takedown. She actually ended the first round on top, but it just wasn't enough to win the round. Second round, she came out, immediately got a takedown. She kept getting reversed and swept. The ground game isn't really her strength, although I did see improvements there. One thing I can say about her is she definitely never gave up, never quit. She kept pressing forward. In between round 1 and 2, when she was on the stool, she made the cameraman like back up, and then she grabbed her coach and whispered something in his ear. I think she probably told him that she had a broken rib or something like that, because I think she revealed some kind of injury to him.
Yeah, those body shots were nasty. I thought she was going to get finished. She did, and I think it was round 1 on top, around 2. I'm not sure, but
Yes, it was round 1.
It was for nothing though, because Bruno
Probably
Brazil,
round 2 also. I think she ended 2 rounds on top, but
yeah, Bruno Brazil was just tearing her up, man. I picked with my heart on this one. I feel like I should have seen this one coming because the Fighting Nerds count so far is my contender for Gym of the Year, even though they don't have a championship yet. But I definitely see a few champions coming out, or more than one definitely coming out of that count. This is the first, I believe this is the first female fighter I can recall seeing from that count, but she was pretty impressive. She looked pretty good. In hindsight, this loss may not look too bad because Bruno Brazil may end up going on a little tear throughout the division. But this was definitely an ass whooping though, for sure. She had a mouse on her eye or in her head, I believe it was. She was beat up bad, man.
you know what I did notice though after the first round and the second round, whenever she would I feel like she was trying to keep the distance close to kind of smother those kicks. I was just because I was nervous of her taking another body shot, so I know I could imagine how she felt. But I noticed that from that point on, when Bruna did throw a kick to that side, she completely turned to the other side to almost like take it on the opposite side. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
she was turned sideways. I thought that was kind of interesting. I never seen that before. But I feel like it goes to show how much she couldn't afford to get hit in that spot anymore.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see an injury report after this card.
Oof.
Next up,
Yeah. This was another one.
this was another banger. Nathaniel Wood versus Daniel Pineda, and this fight was action packed from beginning to end. This was also potential fight of the night candidate. Daniel Pineda had way more power, but Nathaniel Wood was way more technical. Um, this was kind of like a technical brawl. I feel like Pineda was trying to turn it into more of a brawl. The leg kicks were kind of devastating. I should say calf kicks coming from Nathaniel Wood. He did get cracked with a couple overhand rights, a couple hooks. Nathaniel Wood, like I said, he didn't have as much firepower, but he had firepower. And when he connected, he's pretty accurate. He must have hit him in the same spot on his right eye like 5-6 times. And he had Pineda in trouble a couple of times where you thought that he could finish him, but Pineda definitely showed that he's dangerous when cornered, so he couldn't rush the finish. And I thought that was a vet move and not rushing the finish. Because every time he would get him hurt and have him like wobbled or backing up, have him up against the cage, he would try to unleash some combos. But then Daniel Pineda would fire back some hellacious shots just to show I'm still here, don't get carried away. And that was pretty much enough to keep him in the fight. But although it was competitive, it was one-sided at the same time. Nathaniel Wood definitely showed that he was the cleaner striker. He had the speed. And he kind of put himself in harm's way at the end of the third round by initiating the grappling. Daniel Pineda, I feel like, had the edge on the ground, and he almost got him in was it an arm triangle?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of scary for me because I had Wood on the parlay too.
Been a open the other night. This was a very entertaining fight. Nathaniel Wood, he was a better athlete to me, which is why I picked him. He kept dropping. He kept cutting that eye open. I feel like he shouldn't have followed him up to the ground. And I feel like that was where he messed up at. He probably could have finished him if he would have let him back up and just kept tagging him. Pineda I thought they was going to stop the fight the way it was looking at the end of the second, beginning of the third round.
Yeah,
he could barely see out of it, but he's a true warrior, and he definitely got some heart because he wanted to keep fighting. And he was, even though he was getting whooped, he was still having competitive moments. You know, he was still catching Nathaniel Wood with some clean shots, and he was still, you still had a feeling that he could knock him out. So
yeah.
I definitely earned respect for Daniel Pineda because most fighters would have went out, but Nathaniel Wood pieced him up pretty good though.
I felt like this is one of those fights that gave you that feeling of anybody can get finished at any point, but you knew that if it went to a decision, Nathaniel Wood was going to take it. You just didn't know if he was going to be able to get there. And it was filled with a lot of chaotic moments.
Yeah.
And that was a great way to end the prelims. Like I say, they always put a really good fight in that spot just to try to, it's the last-ditch effort to try to say, hey, so you want to see more of this by the pay-per-view? We switch over to the pay-per-view, and the whole crowd is singing "Sweet Caroline." That English crowd is really energetic, man.
And keep in mind, there was 5 hours ahead, so it was about 3 in the morning around this time.
Yeah. And to start off the main card, we had a fight between the almighty Arnold Allen versus Giga Chikadze. And this fight was pretty entertaining as well. Another fight that stayed on the feet. Two really good strikers. Giga Chikadze is probably the more decorated striker. Arnold Allen proved that he could stand with him. They when the first round, I would definitely give to Giga. He came out way more aggressive. Arnold Allen wasn't letting his hands go. They was playing this little game where Arnold Allen was circling to his right because he was trying to stay away from the left head kick, from the right head kick of Giga, and Giga was circling the opposite way. He was circling to his left because he was trying to line that kick up, and it was just kind of like it was going in circles. Giga definitely threw more in the first round. He won that but just by sheer volume. I mean, Arnold Allen did connect a few, but those kicks that Giga got, they come out of nowhere. No telegraph, no wind up, no nothing. He teleport them to your body, man, to the body, to the head, to the leg. He definitely won the first round. The second round, Arnold Allen picked it up. Probably had, I would say his best round of the fight, but I feel like his best round was the third round. But the second round, Arnold Allen picked it up. He kind of bloodied up Giga's nose and mouth. I feel like the speed of Arnold Allen and the pressure of Arnold Allen made Giga fatigue a little bit because even though Arnold was circling, he kept coming forward and had Giga on the back foot the whole time. Like a casual would probably say that Giga was running, but he wasn't running per se because Giga was still throwing, he was still landing. He had a few nice jabs. The body kick is just crazy. But overall, Arnold Allen pulled it off in the third round. You could definitely see Giga was fatigued. He was breathing with his mouth open. I don't know how much damage was done to that nose. If that could have had a factor in it too, but Arnold Allen definitely pulled off the win. He outstruck Giga. I picked him to win. I wanted him to win, and he pulled it off.
Yeah, Giga won round one and lost the last two rounds. He definitely lost round three as the fight was going along further and further. Allen was just piecing them up more, and you could tell Giga was kind of fatiguing a little bit, which isn't good because if you want to see him in a 5-round fight, I think he'll wear down so bad in a 5-round fight. I think it's probably
if you put the pressure on him.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's probably because he do so much circling and he's constantly throwing to the head, throwing to the body, constantly throwing them kicks or whatever. So that exerts a lot of energy. Arnold Allen just kept the pressure on him and it was just tagging him up. Like I say, he lost the first round, but that pressure eventually got to him. He was able to take the next two. I was happy to see Arnold Allen get the win because he needed it after 2 losses to elite competition, but I'm happy to see him get back in the win column.
Yeah, and I'll say this: the second round was pretty competitive. Like, I could see how a judge would have a problem scoring that second round, but the story of the fight, like in the feel of the fight, was just as the fight wore on, Allen was doing better and better. So,
Well, that's the featherweight division, right?
yes, sir.
What do you think should be next for your boy Almighty?
I mean, he did call out
Yair. Yeah, I think that'll be a good fight.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Or if Yair don't want to take that, or if that fight don't materialize, I'd like to see him fight Josh Emmett.
Ooh. Josh Emmett, the guy that nobody talks about. That'll be interesting. That'll be real interesting. I would rather see that, actually, if I'm honest.
Yeah, me too.
Next up, in the middleweight division, another really entertaining fight. Although it was one-sided, we had Christian Leroy Duncan versus Gregory RoboCop Rodriguez. Dead or alive, you're coming with me. That's pretty much how we fight. Gregory was actually, I think he was able to make this more of his style of fight because he didn't really try to sit at distance and exchange with CLD. He pretty much kind of made it a close range fight. CLD definitely showed that he had a chin. Never saw him take this much punishment. Gregory Rodriguez, the power is just something to be amazed by. And then he started mixing in the takedowns. I thought that would be his path to victory. He is a jiu-jitsu black belt. I didn't know that he was a good wrestler too. I didn't know he had wrestling credentials. So that's a really good combination. And you never see a jiu-jitsu guy with power on his feet like Rodriguez has. He pretty much dominated the fight. He got the early takedown in round 1. CLD did show that he's very defensively responsible on the ground. That was a prize. That was a like even though he lost, I feel like he showed some good things. Like I didn't know that he had a ground game such as like the way he was able to stay safe. He did take a little ground and pound, had a huge lump on his forehead. He got bruised up pretty bad. Second round came, and Rodriguez just came more with the pressure on the feet. He got a takedown. He ended up getting reversed. Duncan didn't do much on the ground. You could tell Rodriguez was looking for the finish. One thing I will say about Duncan, he don't get hit a lot, so we didn't know he had a dog in him. But the way he was reacting to getting hit, I didn't like it. He would kind of like shell up and turn away. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's just because of the power or if it's just because that's just how he react when he get hit, because we don't see him get hit too often. So that's something to look out for. Overall, it was a impressive performance by Rodriguez, and I think it's time for him to move up to the top 10. I mean, top 15.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with this. Rodriguez, he just kept moving forward. He didn't give Duncan that space. This was kind of similar to the fight before, where you got one fighter that throw a lot of kicks on light space, and other fighter just kind of move forward. Um, Rodriguez, he was able to get it to the ground. I would say Christian Leroy Duncan in the second round or third round, I think it was the third round, he cut him with a nasty, I think it was the second round, I believe, cut him with a nasty elbow. He throws a lot of elbows, you know. He cut him pretty bad, had blood all over the canvas, had Rodriguez blood all over him. Um, but yeah, I feel like this fight, Leroy Duncan, he could probably improve from this fight because this was like a dog fight for him. You know, he was able to survive. There was a few times where I thought he was going to get finished, but this was something that I feel like he can improve off of though, long term.
Yeah,
Rodriguez, I would like to see him fight Chris Curtis, who's ranked number 15.
yeah, that would be a fun fight. I feel like he would probably beat Curtis just because he got the ground game. Christian Leroy Duncan, he ate a lot of shots up against the cage too. He had plenty of ways out. Like if he was looking for a way out,
Oh yeah,
definitely could have found it. He hung in there. He tried to get the finish. He came out more aggressive in the third round as well. Everything that he connected with though, Rodriguez just walked through it like it didn't affect him. And so
RoboCop.
I don't know if you want to call him RoboCop or the Terminator. You feel me? Because he just ate shit and walked through it, and that's got to be discouraging in itself. So next up, a lightweight division. We had King Green versus Patty the Batty Pimblett. I'm gonna let you take this one away.
There's only one Patty the Batty. This fight I was pretty hyped up for. I was a little worried because I know Patty like to keep that chin straight up. But one thing I will say about Patty, man, like he be dancing and going crazy, but the moment his opponent hits the octagon, that flip just switch. You know, and you can tell he get real intense, real focused.
The flip switch.
Yeah, the switch flip. But when this fight started, Green had his hands low. He started talking trash immediately. A lot of people are faulting Bobby Green because there was a sequence where Patty threw a kick and Green went for the takedown. and people are saying that Green should have never went for that takedown. But I feel like it was like a reactionary kind of thing, and it was like a scramble kind of thing where he wasn't necessarily game planning to shoot for a takedown, but that's what Patty gave him, you know. Um, but yeah, that was his demise though. Patty got the guillotine in, and then it wasn't going, so then he switched to the triangle, and then he got him in the triangle and the armbar. So he put him to sleep and injured his arm at the same time, which is pretty impressive. And when I say he put him to sleep, like you seen, like Bobby Green, he was out. You know, this was pretty impressive. Patty, he got it to that number 15 ranking from King Green, and now he's officially going to be a ranked fighter. This was the last fight on his contract. They definitely got to re-sign him. Um, I don't know if I see future champion in Patty. I would love that because I'm a huge fan.
I
But
don't.
he's definitely. I know you don't, but he definitely. I feel like he can make it like in the upper echelon of the rankings, top five maybe. He got to improve on his stand up. Um, but yeah, man, I was happy with this one. I'm a huge Patty fan. That's my boy. Bobby Green was counting sheep. Yeah, he was. But yeah, man, I was happy with this one.
Yeah, I was very disappointed in this one. Still not a believer in Patty Pimblett, even though that's 8 in a row. I feel like he definitely lost the Jared Gordon fight. Bobby Green knocked out Jared Gordon. Uh, Bobby Green, I feel like, is the better fighter. He didn't win the fight.
Think he's a better fighter?
Than Patty Pimblett, yes, I do. He did not win the fight. One critical error. They say football is a game of inches. This is the ultimate game of inches. One bad move, you zig when you should have zagged, and you waking up. I'm not a believer in Patty Pimblett at all. He does have a very elite ground game, but I just feel like I don't know, man. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Like this is the stiffest competition he's fought. Like the biggest name he fought was Tony Ferguson, but at that point, Tony Ferguson is more so a name than anything else. Jared Gordon defeated him. King Green. I feel like I would have liked to see that fight play out some more. I was definitely looking forward to this fight. Only got 3 minutes of it. I mean, shout out to the Patty Pimblett. He did get 2 bonuses. I don't know. Like I wouldn't call myself a hater. You get what I'm saying? Because
You sound like a hater, bro.
it's not that I dislike him. It's just that I still don't see it. Like, and he called out Renato Moicano. I'm not too big on him either, but I do think it's a bad matchup stylistically because I feel like I don't know. I feel like if he was to fight Moicano and he wins that fight, then it's like, okay, obviously I'm missing something here. You feel me? But if that fight, I don't expect him to win that fight. At some point, he will get exposed. He keeps his chin extremely high when he's on the stand up. His stand up did look a little better though. I'll give him that, but I don't. I would have liked to see more fight out of this fight.
Last night you turned to me and said that you think he overrated, but I told you I'm like he's not overrated because he hasn't had a ranking yet. Now he will. He'll be ranked number 15, but nobody's saying that he's going to be champion and he's the next this or that and that or whatever. Or it's the lightweight division, so it's a Shark Tank. You feel me? But I think that he can definitely get up in a top 5, maybe. You feel me?
I like what he said at the post fight when he was saying that now that he in the top 15, like he said, there is no easy fights in this division. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he was like I don't know, like he said a lot of the right things. I don't know. Dean says he won't be able to be champion, but he definitely can make noise with all the hype he brings. Trevor said that's not Patty's fault. Yeah, like I said, it's not his fault. That's why I don't dislike him. I just feel like he's overrated. Like and I still don't consider him undefeated. You get what I'm saying?
Well, he's not undefeated. He got 4 He got 3 losses on his record.
I mean, undefeated in the UFC. Let's just say that.
Okay.
Like that
All
8-fight win streak is Fugazi. Dean said he's definitely overrated now. And then Trevor said, how about Green stop trying to be Anderson Silva? Nah, see, that's just what Bobby Green do. You feel me? And it works. Like, that's just who he is. I wouldn't call him Anderson Silva, but what he does is he walks you down. He talks to you the whole time. He keeps his hands low because he wants you to throw at him because his head movement is top notch. So he'll let you throw at him, and he'll keep his hands down, and he'll just bob and weave and get inside and let loose combos. He fast enough to do it. He got the chin to do it, and it works for him. He's successful with it. The way they're kind of similar in the way that the way Patty acts like as a character, that's not truly who he is as a man. You get what I'm saying? And the way you see Bobby Green act like as a character, that's not truly who he is as a man. You get what I'm saying? I feel like both of these guys are really respectable outside of the octagon, despite how they may come across on camera. I like a lot of the stuff that Patty stand for. I like a lot of the stuff that King stand for. And even with them, the trash that they was talking to each other, it was all respect. Like Patty was even saying that it wasn't no real beef, but he just think it's more fun when they can have a back and forth. He said that the one fighter that didn't engage in the back and forth with him was his worst performance. I'm pretty sure they hung out last night, had some beers, whatever. But I don't know. I just feel like he overrated. He does have charisma. I feel like the charisma gets kind of misconstrued as skill. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and that's just how I feel about it. He definitely can be a cash cow though, because I feel like by the time he start losing, the hype is so big that it don't matter. People are gonna pay to see him. Kind of like Conor. Like Conor ain't Conor no more, but when Conor fight, the world gonna stop.
Yep. Conor ranked number.
What he really made of now that he's ranked.
Conor ranked number 10, so if he can beat him, that'll be pretty cool.
Next up, co-main event, interim heavyweight championship. Tom Aspinall blazed through Curtis Blades. Just a one-sided. Tom Aspinall probably got hit 2-3 times. Curtis Blades came out kind of wild. I feel like it was a sloppy performance by both guys' standards. Tom Aspinall, connected with that 1-2. Had Bobby Green running in the oil, like he slipped on a banana peel. And then when he went down, Aspinall jumped on top of him and TKO'd him. I feel like this fight played out exactly how I thought it was going to play out. And this fight helped me recover from my losses earlier in the day, because once that one parlay got messed up, I put another one in, and the last thing on that parlay was Tom Aspinall to win by first round knockout, and I got that, so that kind of made my night a little bit.
Yeah, I have Aspinall on a parlay to win by knockout, and another one just to win. Period. This is definitely one of my locks of the night. I didn't see a way for Curtis Blades to get him or to beat him. The first fight was fluky. In my opinion, Aspinall is the best heavyweight right now going. I don't want to see Stipe and Jones. He need to fight John Jones next in Madison Square Garden in November. Put that fight on. I don't want to see Stipe.
So you think he beat John Jones?
I would probably pick him. I don't know. I think it's a good possibility he can beat John Jones, because the thing is, he's so light on his feet, man. I keep pointing at that because that's real important to me, and I never seen a heavyweight be so light on his feet. The way he got the head moving and everything. I I just think that he's a real good athlete.
He said it best himself. He was like, they asked him about his how he got the shortest fight time, average fight time, and whatnot, and that's impressive considering that Sergey Pavlovich is in the division. And they were saying how he got the shortest average fight time in the heavyweight, and they was asking him about his power, and he was like, "Nah, I don't think I'm the hardest hitter." He said, "I'm just fast and I'm accurate." You get what I'm saying? So, and he was like, "Any heavyweight that hits you clean, you're probably going out." And so he was like, "If I catch you clean, you're going out, and I'm fast enough and accurate enough to catch you clean." Trevor says there's no chance in hell that he beats John Jones. I don't know. I feel like every great champion loses at some point. I don't think that he beats John Jones, but if he did, I feel like he has the tools to do it. Like if anybody can, he can. You get what I'm saying? And the reason why I say that is just because like I don't think that's the one opponent that John Jones doesn't have an obvious advantage in one specific area. You get what I'm saying? But I do think John Jones is experienced enough to take him into deep water, and he's never seen that before. You get what I'm saying? So I think it'll be a good fight, but I can't pick against John Jones until I see it happen.
All right, I understand that. And I'm not saying I even would pick against John Jones, but I definitely think he has a good chance to beat him now.
Right. And we got to remember, too, even though John Jones is the heavyweight champion, we've never seen him get hit by a heavyweight. We've never seen him throw a punch at heavyweight. We never seen him get at heavyweight. So, I mean, we still haven't really seen John Jones at heavyweight. So it would definitely be interesting. I feel like Stipe is going to be the litmus test. And I also feel like people need to chill and stop talking about John Jones versus Aspinall until that fight happens, because Stipe could be the skunk at the garden party. Suck your teeth all you want to. Nobody has more heavyweight championship defenses than Stipe Miocic.
Bro, the guy was fighting in what, 4 years? Yeah, he's the greatest heavyweight of all time. And he didn't fight in 4 years. His last fight, he got starched. He got dominated.
John Jones fought one time in what, 5 years, 6 years? So, I mean, even playing field.
Oh, man. I don't want to see that fight.
Well, good thing it ain't about what you want, sir.
And I need to be matchmaker, man.
So you would do Stipe like that after all he did for the company?
Bro, it's not that.
Give him his last fight. You don't think that's fair, considering that he should have got a rematch against Francis?
What's fair is Aspinall and John Jones. That's what's fair to me.
All right, well, moving right along into the main event. Dean says, really good chance he could beat John. What is he talking about? If that fight happened, I wouldn't put my money on Aspinall. But you know how I go though, because I said that Leon was gonna beat Bilal, and then as the fight got closer, literally the day before, I changed my mind. I went back and forth on that one, and this fight played out exactly how you said it was, and you convinced me yesterday that it was gonna play out that way. We both said that Bilal's only path to victory was to put the pressure on Leon. Also felt like Leon underestimated Bilal. He kept talking about how easy it was going to be. Bilal proved to me that, yeah, Leon has been fighting wrestler after wrestler after wrestler, but he's a different type of wrestler. They said it a couple times on the podcast, and I see that now. He got the takedown so easy, and he was even holding his arm on the striking. He walked him down, pressured him. I feel like he kind of gassed Leon a little bit. I don't think Leon was expecting him to be as comfortable on the feet as he was. In the first round, he hurt Leon with an uppercut that kind of like buckled him a little bit, and he got Leon up against the cage, and now Leon has to respect the striking. So what does he do? He raises his hands, and then Bilal takes him down. Even before that, Bilal took him down. He took him down with ease yesterday. At one point, he spiked him on the top of his head in the second round. Leon couldn't have been the same after that. This was a very one-sided fight. Leon did have a few moments in it. He bloodied Bilal up at the end of the 5th round, but besides that, it was no way that Leon was walking away with that title. Once that fight was over, you knew what the judges were going to say. I do feel like Bilal actually could have finished Leon. Nobody saw this coming, especially the way he held his own on the feet. But the UFC has a new undisputed welterweight champion in Bilal Muhammad. Dana was not pleased with this fight at all. I think this is another reason that he was kind of upset. Esteban Zamora says, I finally have a good weekend in the UFC. I got dusted last week, but I came back this week with a Hadley, Aspinall, Patty, and Bilal parlay. Hey, that's a good parlay. Shout out to you, Esteban. Yeah, I got dusted last week. Everything was looking good for me. I won a couple individual fights, and then I had a parlay for all the women's fights to go over 2.5 rounds. Verna Jandiroba pretty much crushed me with that one. She finished her fight like 2 minutes and 40 seconds a little too early. But I did come back this week. Started off kind of shaky, but I ended up in the green, and that's always a plus.
Yeah. For this fight,
The one fight that got it for you, Esteban, is the Hadley fight, and that's the one fight that ruined like multiple other parlays for me. And I'm a Jake Hadley fan, but
yeah, I was able to hit on a parlay with the Bilal fight, Aspinall, and Makayev. For this fight, it played out exactly the way I thought it was. I thought it would. Bilal, he just had some decent stand-up. It wasn't like terrible, but at the same time, I feel like he just caught Leon off guard. Like it wasn't devastating stand-up where he was going to knock him out, but it caught Leon off guard. Leon wasn't expecting it, and Leon couldn't really let his hands go. Now, he did throw some body kicks. He did throw a few head kicks, but everything was being blocked for the most part. Total destruction of Leon Networks. He was exposed as a champ, losing via the unanimous decision. Says a lot. Because like I was saying Friday night on the preview show, Muhammad Usman, the third time they fought, that was a different Usman. He was gun shy from the head kick in the second fight, and then the Kobe Covington, all Leon did was switch his stance, and Kobe didn't know what the hell to do, and he just didn't have that pressure. And I told my brother last night, I feel like Bilal Muhammad implemented what Kobe wanted to do. Like he had the game plan that Kobe wanted to do, you know what I'm saying? But Kobe couldn't do it. And I'm pretty sure Bilal had more strikes than Leon by like over 100 too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He beat him everywhere. Esteban says, I was just shocked Hadley was that big of an underdog. I got him at 180 plus 185. My thought process was I'm never going to find Hadley at that price ever again. So I had to take advantage of the opportunity. That's a logic that I try to use sometimes, especially in the Dustin Poirier versus Benoit Saint Denis fight. I saw Poirier at that big of an underdog. I'm like, yeah, I was going to jump on it regardless because it's Poirier, and I never bet against him. But because Poirier is kind of like the Steelers, like if you bet on him to win every time, you're going to win more than you lose.
Yeah. All right, so look at this, bro. Total strikes. Bilal landed 192 of 281 to Leon's 89 of 114. So Leon threw 114 strikes to Bilal's 281.
Yeah.
And Bilal just had that crazy volume, that crazy pace. 9 for 13 on takedowns. Leon 2 for 2 though. Shout out to that. He got 2.
And he had a couple sweeps, and then at one point he had Bilal.
Yeah,
I feel like it was going to be
two reversals right here.
He said, okay, let's wrap up this BS. He don't like the Steelers talk. But yeah, so you know what's crazy to me? being that Dean did submit me with Leon Edwards when I had Bilal, and then Leon Edwards had that rear naked choke opportunity. Hey, if he would have got that RNC, I would. I knew I would have never heard the end of it. It would have been crazy. It would have been life imitating art.
Hold on.
Here we go. Yeah, it is time to go. I see the dolphin banner in the background. So, you want to give out our beatdown of the night? And
Yeah. Hold on. Let me 1 second.
yeah, we got a new segment. This is the second appearance of what we're about to do here. Just to add a little fun to the, the UFC like to give out their performance bonuses and whatnot. So we got the highly touted and very prestigious MMA Brothers Awards KO of the night was definitely Mick Parkin knocking out Bretsky in the first round up against the cage, nasty uppercut, sat him down, and then the ground and pound from there was just vicious. Stood over him, unleashed a good 5-6 extra shots, and that was a wrap. Mick Parkin got a bonus from that, but more importantly to him, he got the MMA Brothers KO of the night.
Bro, he really needed this one too because he was kind of unimpressive in his previous UFC fights. So I feel like for him to have this KO tonight, it was pretty impressive. Happy with that.
Yeah,
shout out to Mick Parkin in his home country too as well. Get a good pop. Now the beatdown of the night. This could have been 2 fights, but it really came down to 1.
It could have been 3.
Bruno Brazil thrashes Meatball. Bro, this was just an absolute drubbing. She caught her with the jab you see right there. She dropped her a few times. She was just catching her with the body kicks, and she probably got broken ribs, most likely.
Hey, and you can't forget the Vag kick.
Yeah.
That was nasty. And shout out to our Twitter audience too. We appreciate y'all. Esteban, you too. If you could hit the like, subscribe, share it if you can. We appreciate everybody in the chat, everybody watching in the background. And yeah, that's pretty much that.
Now, also, what I want to bring up, hold up. We got our tallies. I've been tallying everything up.
Trevor said he always missed the women's fights.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Once, like especially a pay-per-view night, I say if the fight start at like 6 o'clock. Around 10-15 minutes before the fight start, I clock out as a dad, I clock out as a husband, I clock out as a brother, I clock out as a son, and leave me the hell alone. I'm tuned in, you feel me? Unless you want to watch it with me. This is like my escape from the week.
Yeah. We take our UFC fight serious, very serious. So these are the rankings right now. So starting with UFC 297 because it started at the beginning of the year. I only picked 2 fights right, bro, and you picked 1 fight right for the entire card. Because we both picked Duplessis, Raquel Pennington, Neil Magny, all those went to shit. You picked Chris Curtis. That was the only fight you had right. For UFC 298. I had 6 correct. You had 7. For 300, I had 10 correct. You had 6. For UFC 301, we both had 9 correct. And then
Don't that make you wish you would have bet on like if I'd have just? But that's only
yeah.
hindsight, bro.
It's not on the screen here, but UFC 302. I picked 12 correct. You picked 9, and it was a 12 fight card. So I actually picked every fight right. I would like to toot my horn for that.
I don't believe you,
Um, hey, you can look at them. I'm gonna send you the chart too, so you
man.
can see it for yourself. For UFC 303, you picked 8 fights correct, and I picked 5. At this point, I was thrashing you, but the last 2 fights you caught up to me. And for last night, you picked 11 fights correct, and I picked 9. So in total, I have 53, you have 51. So I'm winning by 2.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So you say I picked 11 right last night,
Last night you picked 11 right, I picked 9.
and you picked 12 right for what card?
UFC 302, I picked all 12 correct, and you picked 9.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Keep that up though. That's pretty cool. That's pretty fun, man. I would like to see who have the lead at the end of the year, and we got to figure something out, like either a reward for the winner or a punishment for the loser.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Might have you running down sis trunk naked.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add about this card?
Nah, overall, I thought it was a decent card. A lot of it played out the way I wanted it to. I mean, the way I expected it to. People might be upset at the Bilal Muhammad, but I'm not upset by it. I kind of seen it coming, so I was already prepared for it. Would I have liked to see Leon win? Yes, of course, but it's just Bilal. He earned it, bro. He really did. He earned it. I'm happy for him.
Your pockets say otherwise, though.
Yeah, yeah. I was able to pick with my head and not my heart. I was able to hit 2 parlays last night, so that's pretty cool.
I had a theory about that too when we was doing our last show, and I saw some of the fights you were picking, and I was surprised that you were picking them the way you picked them, and I realized you wasn't picking with your heart. I had a thought to myself: he been tallying up these scores, and he been going back and seeing what he messed up at. So now he finna switch it up how he picking, because he see like, dang, I picked with my heart here, I picked with my heart there.
Well, actually, I didn't finish tallying everything until last night, until like 3 in the morning when I finished.
No, but I'm saying going through the process,
Yeah.
you probably saw some places where it's like, yeah, I knew this was gonna happen, but I didn't want it to.
Yeah.
All right. So with that being said,
Next week we got a card in Saudi. Abu Dhabi. My bad. Abu Dhabi card next week.
that's another pay-per-view worthy card for free on ABC. We got Corey Sandhagen versus Magomed. No, not Magomed. Umar Nurmagomedov.
Can you stop taking 1 point? So I was going to say this card is pay-per-view worthy, and it's actually better than some pay-per-view cards. Shout out to Lupi Godinez, Alonzo Menefield, Shamil Gazio, your boy Dontel Mays.
Yeah, ain't my boy. I'm looking forward to the Chito Vera versus
Deuce to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so main card, we got Joel Alvarez, Elvis Brenner, Mackenzie Dern, Lupi Godinez, Tony Ferguson, Michael Chiesa, Marlon Vera, Davidson Figueiredo, Shara Bullet versus Michael Oleksiejczuk.
Yeah, I think they added that fight because they took Nick Diaz off the card.
Yeah, Nick Diaz versus Vicente Luque. And main event, you got Corey Sandhagen and Umar Nurmagomedov.
Who you got in the main?
I mean, I want Corey to win, but I think Nurmagomedov gonna find a way to pull it off.
Nah, I got Corey all day, and I would love to see Corey versus O'Malley, but I would also love to see Umar versus Marab.
The next time we'll come to y'all, it will be Friday, August 16th. That'll be for the UFC 305 card. Duplessis versus Israel Adesanya.
The style bender is back.
We got a good fight card for that one.
That's gonna be in person, Australia.
Kai Kara France, Steve Ursay, Taita Iwasa versus Jairzinho Rosenstrike, Junior Tapa versus Walter Walker.
Hey, Walter Walker got destroyed by Mick Parkin.
But that's okay. Ricky Glenn, Sung Kining, the Leech versus Carlos Prates. Oh, that's gonna be a good one.
Yeah,
I just realized who Carlos Prates is.
2020.
Casey O'Neill on the card. Ricardo Ramos on the card.
Josh Kulabau. Gavin Tucker. You got Tom Nolan, Alex Reyes. Hey, that's remember last time you saw Alex Reyes? He got knocked out nasty. You know that's Dominic Reyes.
Reyes' brother. Yeah. All right.
But that's pretty much that, guys. Like I say, thanks for tuning in. Smash that like, turn your alerts on so you'll be aware of every time we come to you. Something on this channel for everybody. Got great news for everybody though. Monday, August 5th, Man Talk Monday makes its long-awaited return.
Yeah.
Be sure to tune into that. That is the flagship show of the Straight Talk channel. And it's Mondays, every Monday at 6 o'clock. Tune in. You will not be disappointed. I can't wait for it to come back because I miss it.
Yeah, me too. All right, bro. Good show.
Good show. Catch everybody next month for UFC 305. You can probably catch us on August 4th and August 6th. That's August 4th, probably 7:30 p.m. For our preview show, and then August 6th, 10:30 a.m. for the review show. Thanks for everybody's engagement. Peace.
Peace.
If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and the best is blessed, baby.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. Keep it clean. Touch gloves if you wish. Let's do it.
Straight Talk MMA, hosted by Zay Bones, the MMA Brothers.